provisions, that is constitutional provisions which are being given of secondary education. Today in the class we are going to discuss about policies and programs. Please make sure you just make a note, because what information is given in your textbook, the years which they gave you, the information which they gave you is little bit wrong. So please make sure that you write down. If you feel, it is must and should that you have to make a note about what policies and programs I'm speaking about secondary education, because those are very important. These are the commissions which have been brought about a great change in the education system after the independence. So when we speak about secondary education today in the classroom, we are going to discuss about the policies and programs of secondary education. In your textbook, the first point is given as during 1950. It is not 1950, ma. Make sure you just make a note. It is during the year 1948. Write down. It is during 1952 to 53. It is not 1950. The first policy or the program which spoke about secondary education is during the year 1952 to 53. And this commission was called as Secondary Education Commission, or it is called as the Mudaliar Commission. It was called as Mudaliar Commission because so if they ask you a question, or if they ask you, sometimes they will ask you the question about, write something about Secondary Education Commission. So don't get deviated. Secondary Education Commission and Mudaliar Commission, both of them are same. So it was what the education system has taught us. Education needed a fresh look. So basing on that, the voice raised by Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad during those days, they had an argument. They stated that education need to have a new look. The system, the pattern of education has to be changed. So this is the second education commission which we are speaking. The first one is the university grants. The first one is the Universal Education Commission, University Education Commission. The second one is the Secondary Education Commission, which came into force on 1952. It is not 1950. Please check it in your textbook and just rewrite it. It is 1952 to 53. The first policy program was implemented on secondary education, which was called as the Mudaliar Commission. Why the name Mudaliar has come? Because so let us speak something history about this secondary education. As I told you, they wanted to have a fresh look in the education system, which was voiced by Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad. Then they thought that the education minister has addressed CABE. Now CABE is an advisory board. You write down CABE, C-A-B-E, which says Central Advisory Board of Education 1948. CABE is a advisory board which advises on education system. So when the educationists had a voice to have a new fresh look for the education system, it was CABE, that is Ministry of Education, has addressed to CABE saying that they wanted to have a new look to the education. So they wanted to implement some policies and programs and wanted to put a commission on education system. So during 1948, under the education minister, they have addressed to CABE, C-A-B-E, that is Central Advisory Board of Education. So under the Central Board of Advisory Education System of Government of India had set up a Secondary Education Commission. What they have started is during 23rd September 1952, this commission was made. And who was the chairperson for that? Under the chairmanship of Dr. A. Lakshmana Swami Mudaliar. He was the Vice Chancellor of Madras University. Just make a note, ma. We are speaking about Secondary Education Commission, which is very, very important, not only on the basis of secondary education, but many radical reconstruction of education system took place during this commission. This is called, it is Secondary Education Commission, as well as Mudaliar Commission. Why the name Mudaliar has come? Because under the chairmanship of Dr. Lakshmana Swami Mudaliar, this commission has been started. That is why it was called as the Mudaliar Commission during 1952. During 1952, this commission came into force under the chairmanship of Dr. Lakshmana Swami Mudaliar, and that is the reason this program or policy is called as the Mudaliar Commission. And coming to this, so he was acting as a Vice Chancellor of Madras University. So what this commission has done, this commission prepared a questionnaire. They have prepared a questionnaire and they had related to some problems of education, and they send it to various educationists, for example, teachers, educational institutions, on the basis of what they wanted to say, on the basis of the answers. What this commission has done is, on the basis of these answers, this commission had prepared a report of about 244 pages. See, few of them have joined now. So I'm again telling you, I'm speaking about the Secondary Education Commission, which is one of the important commission after the independence. This is called as the second important commission. Because we are speaking about secondary education, we are only highlighting on this secondary education. Secondary Education Commission is also called as is also called as the Mudaliar Commission, because under the chairmanship of Dr. Lakshmana Swami Mudaliar, this commission came into existence. They prepared a questionnaire. This commission altogether sat in 1952 and they prepared a questionnaire, and these questionnaire had n number of questions, and these questionnaire was sent to many of the educational institutions, including teachers, including the what we say is educationists. So when these questionnaire was sent, they have collected some data about, and they came to conclusion by writing 244 pages. This report contained of 244 pages and had 14 to 15 chapters, and they have submitted this report in the year 1953. They have submitted this in the year 1953. So what they have represented, what they thought is, okay, now they want what they thought is, after they have gone through this questionnaire form, after they have seen all the teachers speaking, after this commission came into existence, that is in 1952 to 53, what the survey they have done is, they have seen that secondary education textbooks have become what they say is like bookish. It's a stereotype. It does not have any, it is not child-centered education. So what they have said is, the commission, what they have given is, they said that not suitable to all types of students. It is not related to life, because we are speaking about the curriculum which has been given in the textbook. So the major recommendation was that the textbook of the children of the age group of 8, 9, 10, secondary education is not at all, it is always a stereotype, it is not related to life, it is not suitable to all type of children, and does not develop the all-round personality of the students. And 6 subjects formula was also introduced during this commission. What is 6 subject formula? That is English, Telugu, Hindi, Math, Science and Social. So these kind of subjects were introduced, and putting in mind 1 mother tongue, 1 national language, 1 international language, and 3 other subjects which are benefited to the students. So during Secondary Education Commission, which came into existence in 1952, please check in your textbook, it is given as 1950. Please make a correction there. So during 1952, this commission came into existence and brought about a great change in the secondary education system. They said that all the textbooks are like stereotype, they are not properly built up, and it does not help for the on-round development of a child. So they wanted to bring about a new look, a new fresh look. That is the reason they had prepared a questionnaire and sent it to all the education institutions, including the teachers, including the educationists, and they had prepared a report of around 244 pages of 15 chapters. So when they have gone through all these things, they had many recommendations, but we are only speaking about the secondary education. So they have felt that the children it is not applicable to the aspects of life. It is not any the curriculum or the syllabus does not help the children for the all-round development. So they wanted to change the curriculum system, and 6 subject system has started during this commission. So the first commission, please make note, it is very important. Secondary Education Commission or Modelyar Commission 1952 to 53 is very, very important. Please make a note. It is not there in your textbook. So please make note. This is the first which had a great impact on education system. So the first one is 1952 to 1953, which was called as Secondary Education Commission or Modelyar Commission. So what all they have recommended? A great change has to be made in the curriculum or the syllabus of the secondary education system, because it does not help the all-round development of the child. It is only like a bookish one. It is only like a stereotype one. It is not changed. They say that it is most of secondary education is bookish and also stereotype, so which was not suitable for the children. So that major recommendations were made. And also CBSE system, that is Central Board of Secondary Education, was also established in the same year. So make a point, CBSE, we know what is CBSE. CBSE full form is Central Board of Secondary Education, was also introduced or established in the same year. So that was the first policy we are speaking, that is Secondary Education Commission. I hope you all are understanding. This is the major education commission which helped and paved a lot to the secondary education system. Now coming to the second point is, the second one is during after 1952 to 53, next came the second policy or the program, which is called, during the year 1961, which was called as on September 1st in New Delhi, they had formulated a new council, which is called as NCERT. First one in 1952 to 53, Secondary Education Commission or Modelyar Commission. Now next, during 1961, they had been introduced to a new training or a council system, which is called as NCERT. 1961, 1st September in New Delhi, NCERT has been established. Now what is NCERT? NCERT is nothing but National Council of Educational Research and Training. NCERT 1961, which is called as National Council for Educational Research and Training. So this was established in New Delhi on 1st September. Now what does this NCERT do? It's nothing but for providing academic support. They wanted to, this was established in New Delhi. The prime motto or the prime concern is for providing academic support in improving the quality of school education in India. So the prime concept of NCERT is to provide academic support in improving the quality of school education in India. And it is also an academic advisor to MHRD. Now what is MHRD? You know what is MHRD? It is Ministry of Human Resource and Development. So NCERT acts as a academic supporter throughout the India. It provides academic support. Not only that, it is also an academic advisor. NCERT acts as an academic advisor to MHRD. Students, the reason why I'm repeating twice and thrice is so that you'll make a note of them. Please make a note of what I'm saying. First, I spoke about Secondary Education Commission 1952 to 53. The second policy of the program we are speaking is about 1961, which is called as NCERT, which has been established in New Delhi on 1st September. The main concept or the main thing for establishing this one is, first one is for the providing academic support for improving the quality of school education in India, especially secondary education. and also it acts as an academic advisor to MHRD. Now you know what is MHRD, that is Ministry of Human Resource Development. It acts as an advisor. It advises MHRD on the basis of education system in India. Not only that, it is concerned with all the problems of school education in the country and also to improve such education through various educational programs. So NCERT plays a major role in the education system because as you all know, MHRD plays the major role in education system in India. This NCERT tries to advise this academics to MHRD. It is not only that, you know, like schools like Kendriya Vidyalaya, that is KVS, and also Navodaya Vidya Samiti, that is NVS. All these come under NCERT only. These both have NCERT textbooks because they what they say is, for example, they conduct some NCERT textbooks are used. Besides CBSE, NCERT formulated textbooks or these NCERT plays a major role in giving textbooks to KVS and also NVS. You would be knowing what is KVS. KVS is Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangat and Navodaya Vidyalaya Sangatan. So these two NCERT textbook, these two uses NCERT textbooks only. So NCERT plays a major role in the education system because it acts as an academic supporter. It supports the MHRD and also it suggests MHRD regarding the education system. So besides CBSE pattern of education, NCERT textbooks are printed separately for KBS, Kendriya Vidyalaya schools, and also Navodaya Vidyalaya schools. So these two have separate textbooks, that is, which are printed by NCERT, National Council for Educational Research and Training, which came into force in 1961 in New Delhi, because these play a major role. These play a major role in education system. So first one we spoke about secondary education. Is Indian Education Commission, or it is called as, it has many names. Don't get worried. If anything is related to 1964, there is only one commission which was there in 1964 to 66, which was called as National Education Commission or Indian Education Commission, or also we can say it as the Kothari Commission. Make a note, ma. The first one is the Secondary Education Commission or Modaliyar Commission. Second one, we spoke about the NCERT during 1961. Coming to 1964 to 66, make a note, 1964 to 66, it is called as National Education Commission. It is called as National Education Commission or Indian Education Commission, Indian Education Commission or Kothari Commission, Kothari, Kothari Commission or University Grant Commission, University Grant Commission. This commission is very important, Kothari Commission. That is why it has been given 4 names. The first one is National Education Commission. The second is Indian Education Commission. The third name given as Kothari Commission. And the fourth is University Grants Commission. Those children who are getting ready for competitive, make sure. That is the reason many of them does not know these commissions. Only thing is they get confused. Remember 1964 to 66, this was the very important commission. Actually, this commission was called as ad hoc commission. This commission was called as ad hoc commission. Can anybody tell me what is the meaning of ad hoc?
Urgently, ma'am, emergency. In emergency, we have that ad hoc request.
Ad hoc is nothing but emergency. Why this commission was emergency? Because what they thought is expected success was not being achieved, ma'am. So after the secondary education, after this 1961 NCRT also, they did not have a good outcome. That is, education appeared to be one of the areas which indicated many problems that need to have an immediate solution. So in order, as these commissions were implemented, in order to have a real change, so immediate solution, they thought that they need some immediate solution. For that immediate solution, this ad hoc committee came into existence. This ad hoc commission, which is very, very important, it is called as Kothari Commission. The reason it was called as Kothari Commission because Dr. Daulat Singh Kothari was the chairman of this one. So he acted as a chairman for this commission. That is the reason it was called as the Kothari Commission. And also, this Daulat Singh Kothari was the chairman of UGC also. He was appointed as the chairperson of the UGC. That is why it is also called as University Grants Commission, Indian Education Commission and National Education Commission. These four all are together the same. These all come under Kothari education only because under the chairmanship of Daulat Singh Kothari, under the chairmanship of Daulat Singh Kothari, this commission came into existence. It was called as the ad hoc committee, ADHOC, because it needed what they have expected success had not been achieved during that time. So it was 52 and this is 64. Almost all 10 years had happened, but they had no big changes. So that is why this is the third important commission which was an ad hoc commission, because for them education appeared to be the area which indicated many problems were there and they wanted to have an immediate solution. So this was one of the because the first two commissions which I told you did not have a good impact. So this third ad hoc commission was there. So what they have done is, during the year 14th July 1964, Kothari Commission, what they have done is they had created 17 members. They have selected 17 members. So these 17 members were educationists in diverse fields from India and abroad. So this commission prepared 17 members to go and do a survey all over India. Not only that, from abroad also, because they wanted to they wanted to find out immediate solution. So who are these 17 members? Make a note, they were about, it is not given in your textbook. There were 17 members who have been appointed under this commission. It was an ad hoc commission. That is, then and there it was made. The reason behind this ad hoc commission is the expected outcome was not there in Secondary Education Commission nor in NCRT. So they wanted to have an immediate solution in the education system. This ad hoc committee was made under the chairmanship of Kothari, who was already a chairman of this commission. That is, who was already the chairman of UGC, University Grants Commission. So during 1964, they prepared 17 members. That is all the educationists from diverse fields from India and abroad. So among these 17 members, there were 14 members, 1 secretary, 1 associate and 1 chairman. So among these 17 members, 14 members were, among these 14 members, there were 1 secretary plus 1 associate and 1 chairman. So altogether 17 members were there, out of which 5 members were from Japan and Russia, and they have given many reports regarding this education system. To make clear, this Kothari Commission is very important. The only reason I'm giving you ample of information is because even this commissions we are going to speak in the further classes also. Not only in the further classes, if you're going for the competitive exams, it is very, very important. This is the third commission we are speaking. The second one we spoke about secondary education. This is the third one, which is called as Kothari Education or National Education Committee or Indian Education Commission or University Grants Commission. All these commission comes under Kothari Commission only. So under Kothari Commission, there are 3 commissions. All together are called, the same Kothari Commission is also called as National Education Commission, Indian Education Commission, University Grants Commission. So under this Kothari only you get all these things. You know why the reason? Kothari Commission, the name has been given because it was Daulat Singh Kothari who acted as a chairperson during this commission. It was an ad hoc commission where 17 members have been selected, out of which 14 members were from the educationist field, one was the secretary, one was the associate, and one was the chairman. Among them, 5 members who have come up from abroad were from Japan and Russia, and they also prepared a report basing on the education system in India. What has to be done? What immediate solution can the government do? So what they have done is, they have seen that Indian education system had a major problem, that is Indian educational problems. So they have covered different sectors of education, and what they have dealt is, the main thing what they have suggested is, they said that they have covered an vocational education part-time and distance education and girl child education and secondary education. So Kothari education had many recommendations now. It is not only one recommendation they had made many recommendations, but out of which what we feel very important is girl child education, and also distance education was introduced during that period. So the first one is vocational education, vocational training, and also part-time and distance education was implemented or recommended, and also girl child education and at secondary level had a greater impact in Kothari education. So I'm again telling you, we spoke about 2 important commissions and 1 council, that is NCERT. That was called as it was a policy. These both are the commissions. Now, can anybody tell me what a secondary education commission is also called as?
Mudaliyar Commission.
Mudaliyar Commission, because it was under the chairmanship of Dr. Lakshmana Swami Mudaliyar. And for your, because in your textbook it is given as 1950, that is wrong. 1952 is the correct year of Secondary Education Commission. Make a note, 1952 to 53 under the chairmanship of Mudaliyar, Secondary Education Commission. And Kothari Education Commission is also called as
National Education Commission.
National Education Commission and
UGC, University
Grants Commission and
Ad hoc
Grant Commission.
Indian Education Commission. And this was all, it was for your information I'm giving you, it is an ad hoc commission. It is an ad hoc committee which wanted to have an immediate solution. And how many members of them were there in this commission? 17 members, out of which 5 members from abroad. So among 17, 5 members were from abroad, 14 members, everybody were educationalists only, not from the political party or from anything. They were all educationists, great educationists. So that is why Kothari Commission plays a major role. It has brought about many recommendations. University Grants Commission, when we speak about the university education in your 5th unit, then also we can speak about this. These are major commissions which brought about a great change. When we speak about Secondary Education Commission also, many beautiful recommendations were made, but expected outcome was not there. So that is the reason Kothari Education Commission has been introduced in 64 to 66, and later on what was it, and what about the girl child education played a major role, and also vocational education and also distance education during 1964 it has been established under the commissionship of Kothari, that is Dr. Daulat Singh Kothari. Now coming to the next one, what we are going to deal is, the second one is 1979, that is SUPW, which is called as now, I'm telling you, it is 1978. Please make a note in your textbook. It is given as 1979. It is not 1979. It is during 1978. SUPW. See, few I'm taking it from your textbook, and few I'm giving you all notes. So in 1952 to 53, Secondary Education Commission. 1961, it is called as the NCERT. It was the council which it had a great impact on education, secondary education system. And then we spoke about 1964, We had Kothari Commission 64 to 66. Coming to 1978, they have introduced a SUPW. Now, can anybody tell me what is SUPW? Yes, ma'am. Can anybody tell me what is full form of SUPW?
socially useful productive work, ma'am.
No, Srivani? Very good, Srivani. Yes. So, only Srivani knows, but I hope everybody knows because we all had SUPW in our schools. You all remember SUPW?
Yes, ma'am. We have SUPW and it was started by Ishwari Bhai Patel committee, ma'am. I think 1977.
It was during 1978, in the month of December, because this was promoted under the Gandhian values and educational ideas of Mahatma Gandhi. The favorite subject of mine was SUPW in the school because we were free to do anything that time. I know that everybody had that. Anyone who did not have SUPW in your schools, ma'am? Amma, andariki SUPW class unda leda?
Yes, ma'am, we had.
You had. So what you did during that SUPW class?
Ma'am, we have learned knitting and cooking, ma'am. I made gajata halwa when I was in 7th or 8th class.
Oh, that's
all balls.
Yeah, that is really good actually, SUPW. So SUPW, by the Ministry of Socially Welfare Productive Work of Education, they have promoted this on the basis of Gandhian values. They said that, and also educational ideas of Mahatma Gandhi. So SUPW, it was on a big bloom, and later it has gone down. But again, it started because it paved much. For example, it has become a mandatory part of course curriculum in some schools. For example, when you see that CISCE, that is Council for the Indian School Certificate Examination. Most of your parents would be knowing, if you want to enter into ICSE or ISC, you need to write some examination, which is conducted by Council for the Indian School Certificate Examination. So this SUPW is mandatory in ICSE and ISC syllabus. It is mandatory that every student has to enroll. It is mandatory that you have to go and enroll to SUPW. And when they write this examination, for example, CISCE, that is Council for the Indian School Certificate Examination, they conduct examinations in India. So SUPW is a mandatory. So, for example, you see ICSC and SSC, apart from CBSE schools, these ICSE schools and ISC schools have a special classroom for SUPW. So, it played a great, impact on this. For example, you would be knowing that Jawahar Navodaya Vidya Samiti, NVS, which was established in 1986, also made one of their classroom, that is, they wanted SUPW mandatory. They created it as a mandatory one because which helped many of the students to, for example, we already know what classes are there in SUPW. They make us this knitting classes, cooking classes, and vocational training for the children, which will help them. What is Gandhian values? Gandhian always said that work while you do, or study while you work. So this philosophy or this value had a great impact on SUPW. If children are learned a few skills, if children are given few skills during their 8th, 9th, 10th, that is secondary education time, when they finish after 10th, they can select their few courses which will be helpful for them for their livelihood, especially girl child. In some schools in SUPW, they are teaching them tailoring. It is not that they have to put their own. If they are not continuing their education after 10th class, these kind of SUPW will help them for earning, for little earnings. Especially it was for the girl child. So during 1978, SUPW, that is socially useful productive work, by the Ministry of Education, it was promoted on Gandhian values and educational ideas of Mahatma Gandhi. That is during 1978. Now, coming to the major commission again, that is called as National Policy on Education. Now next commission we are speaking is, this is policy which came into existence during 1986, this only class does not, this class won't be sufficient for me to speak on national policy education. Can anybody tell me, was there any change in national policy education in recent timings?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Recently they have introduced, no, ma'am, national.
Yeah, recently. So the same national policy of education has been reversed 3 times. First one during the year 1968 under the chairmanship of Gandhi, that is Indira Gandhi. 1968 lo first national policy on education was made by under the chairmanship of Indira Gandhi, and after few decades, during 1986, new education policy has been introduced, and after that so many education policies have introduced. But recently in 2020 also, national policy on education has been implemented, and most of them it have changed everything. The education system has changed a lot in NPE 2020, but here we are only going to discuss on NPE 1986, that is National Policy on Education 1986. It is not called as National Education Commission. Please strike off that line which is there in your textbook. It says that it is National Education Commission. No, it is not National Education Commission. It is National Policy on Education 1986. So many mistakes are there in your textbook. Please make sure when you write or when you read the textbook, you see it, you check it whether the years which they have given, whether the name of the commission is true or not. We are speaking about National Policy on Education 1986. This is not commission, this is policy. National Policy on Education 1986. NPE 1986. It is not National Education Commission. Now coming to national, that is NPE. When we speak about this, we have much to be discussed about this National Policy on Education, because it is one of the major drawback. It is called as Radical Reconstructions of Education System. 1986 under the chairmanship of Rajiv Gandhi, this was called as the Radical Reconstruction of Education System. Recently in one of the competitive exam they have asked about what for example, radical reconstruction of education system was implemented in which, or on what policy this name was given. It was during 1986. National Policy on Education is also called as Radical Reconstruction of Education System. Now coming to this, what major recommendations they have made is, they have implemented they have prompted many education systems. For example, they brought about social change in the society. The main policy of this education is, they brought about social system, that is socially it has been changed a lot. For example, in your textbook it is given as, it is social change in the society with the provision of more secondary educational facilities. Like there are many educational facilities which have brought about in national policy education, especially in the secondary education field. So mind you, don't get confused. We are speaking about, so what it has been. NPE, National Policy on Education, is a very vast topic where we can speak the whole class, but we are only concerned about secondary education. The main opportunity which it has brought about is, they wanted to for example, I'm telling you, they have introduced lot of systems in education system, in secondary education system. For example, technical vocational education, and also they have introduced agriculture, industry, trade, commerce, medicine, public health, home management, arts, crafts into secondary education system. The main recommendation on NPE considering secondary education is, they have introduced many large number of, like for example, such as agriculture, industry, trade, commerce, medicine, public health, home management, arts and crafts into education system. So during this major, that is why it was called as a radical reconstruction, a radical restructuring of the education system. That is why it is called as National Policy on Education, NPE 1986. So the major role what it had impact on secondary education is they have introduced technical and vocational education at this stage. They have introduced technical and vocational education at this stage, and also not only that, provision of facilities for secondary and vocational education also be introduced in that. For example, real employment opportunities. Much of employment opportunities has been given during this one. That is vocational training. Vocational training such as agriculture, industry, trade, commerce, medicine and public health and home management, arts and crafts has been introduced during the national policy and education. So on the suggestions of Kothari education, national policy education, many of the industrial training institutes, that is ITI. So the ITI, a vocational course, you all would be knowing what is ITI. On basis of ITI, that is during the under the chairmanship of this Kothari Commission and this new policy have paved it to ITI, and also polytechnic, nursing, agricultural institutions have been established during this time. That is, you all would be knowing after 10th class, people can select or opt for ITI and also for nursing and also for agriculture institutions. So all these have been established during NPE, that is National Policy and Education. So in order to get into, that is after the students have completed the 10th standard, in order to enter these kind of, for example, if they wanted to select this vocational vocational education, that is the reason many of the curriculum have been introduced. For example, I told you in secondary education, they have introduced many fields. Different fields has been introduced into education, that is their health. It is only for the welfare of the society. During that time, child was the center of the education. It was then only it was started child-centered education to highlight and to give them good value for life. So even after they wanted to complete minimum education qualification 10th class, if they complete that, if they want to go to ITI or nursing or education field, that is why the secondary education introduced many of these subjects for the benefits of the students. So first one we spoke about Secondary Education Commission, and next one we spoke about NCERT, which was not commission but it was a program or it was a policy. And next one we spoke about National Education Commission 1964 or Kothari Commission, and 1979 SUPW work has been introduced, and next one National Policy on Education, which is called as NPE. So under this National Policy Education only, the Jawahar Navodaya Vidya Samiti NVS was established during 1986. In your textbook it is given as 1989. No, it is not 1989. It is 1986. During 1986 only, Jawahar Navodaya Vidya Samiti schools has been established. So in tomorrow's class, we are going to speak about, it is already time, so I don't want to drag things. Today in this class, we spoke about few policies and programs. Among them was the first one is the Secondary Education Commission or Modaliyar Commission 1952 to 53. Next we spoke about during 1961 NCERT, which acts as an advisory board to MHRB, which is very important, NCERT. And also next we spoke about during 1964, which is called as Kothari Commission, the second Indian Education Commission or University Grants Commission or Kothari Commission, which is also called as Ad hoc Commission. So these three, and afterwards we spoke about is the 1978, it is not 79, 78 SUPW has been established for the welfare of the secondary education children. Then we spoke about NPE, National Policy on Education 1986, which paved for vocational education system. It had a great impact on other forms also, but we are only speaking about secondary education, which is called as NPE. Tomorrow in the classroom, we are going to discuss about Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan, and next one is the model school schemes, which what changes have they made in secondary education. Till now, if anyone has any doubts, please let me know, ma'am. We are speaking about policies and programs of secondary education only. It is not only that these commissions are only meant for secondary education. No, it is all fields of education. But in this unit, we are only speaking about secondary education. That is the reason only few points, few recommendations we were speaking. So among these recommendations, 3 are very important, ma. Secondary Education Commission, Kothari Commission, and National Policy on Education. With these 3 are very important, because in the future days also you are going to discuss about them. We are going to discuss about them, including the years. You please be sure, don't whatever there is in your textbook, please don't try to copy that. That is not true. The years have been given in a wrong way. Try to check and try to see. You check how many times you want to check and see the real age of their establishments. So when these commissions were established, when these commissions were recommended, what they have recommended, you just go through all these things. There are still few programs and policies on secondary education. We are going to discuss them tomorrow. That is RMSA, Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan, and also what are model schools. For tomorrow, what are model schools? Are model schools or open schools or distance education the same, or are they different? We are going to discuss that in the tomorrow's class. So as of now, if anyone has any doubts, please let me know, ma. If anyone has any doubts regarding this, you can let me know. Within 5 minutes, I'm going to finish it off. Amma, ee roju manam class lo మాధ్యమిక విద్యా విధానాలు మరియు కార్యక్రమాల్లో మనం దేని గురించి మాట్లాడుకున్నామంటే 1952లో డాక్టర్ మొదలియార్ కమిషన్ లేదా దాని సెకండరీ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ కమిషన్ గా పిలుస్తారమ్మా. అది 1952 నుంచి 53 వరకు ఒక క్వశ్చనరీ ఫామ్ చేశారు. క్వశ్చనరీ ఫామ్ అంటే క్వశ్చన్స్ ఫామ్ చేసి అందరికి పంపించినప్పుడు వాళ్ళు కొన్ని రికమెండేషన్స్ తీసుకొచ్చారు. ఏం రికమెండేషన్స్ అంటే, టెక్స్ట్ బుక్ అనేది మార్చబడాలి, కొత్త విద్యా విధానం మాకు కావాలి అనే మార్పులు వచ్చాయి. అది ఎప్పుడంటే మొదలియార్ కమిషన్ లో. రెండోది చూసుకున్నప్పుడు 1961 లో అంటే 1961లో కొత్త నేషనల్ కౌన్సిల్ ఫర్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్, that is national NCERT ని నేషనల్ కౌన్సిల్ ఫర్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ రీసెర్చ్ అండ్ ట్రైనింగ్ 1961లో. మీ టెక్స్ట్ బుక్ లో, తెలుగు టెక్స్ట్ బుక్ లో కరెక్ట్ గా ఇచ్చారమ్మా, అది చదివితే మీకు సరిపోతుంది. 1964 నుంచి 66 వరకు దాన్ని కొతారి కమిషన్ అంటారు. రాసుకున్నాము దాన్ని కొతారి కమిషన్ లేదా ఇండియన్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ కమిషన్ లేదా యూనివర్సిటీ గ్రాంట్స్ కమిషన్ లేదా నేషనల్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ కమిషన్ అని పిలువబడుతుంది. 1964 నుంచి 66 వరకు ఆ కమిషన్ లో 17 మంది మెంబర్స్ ఆ కమిషన్ లో ఉన్నారు. ఆ కమిషన్ అడాక్ కమిటీగా కూడా పిలుస్తారు. ఎందుకంటే ఈ ముందున్న కమిషన్స్ గానీ, పాలసీస్ గానీ, ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ కానీ విద్యలో ఎలాంటి మార్పులు తేయడానికి అవి సహకరించలేదు. అందుకే ఈ అడాక్ కమిటీ అనేది అండర్ ద చైర్మన్షిప్, ఎవరంటే చైర్మన్షిప్ దౌలత్ సింగ్ కొతారి, ఆయన చైర్మన్షిప్ లో ఈ అడాక్ కమిటీ అనేది ఏర్పడింది. ఆ కమిటీలో 17 మంది ఉన్నారమ్మా. 17 మెంబర్స్ ఎక్కడి నుంచి, మొత్తం ప్రపంచ వ్యాప్తంగా విద్యావేత్తల్లో ఉన్న ప్రాముఖ్యమైన విద్యావేత్తల్ని తీసుకొని ఈ 1964 నుంచి 66 వరకు సర్వే చేశారు. అందులో 17 మంది మెంబర్స్ ఉన్నారు. అందులో 5 అంతర్జాతీయ వాళ్ళు, బాహ్య దేశం అంటే వేరే మన దేశం కాకుండా వేరే దేశం నుంచి వచ్చిన వాళ్ళు. ప్రపంచ వ్యాప్తిగా 17 మంది కూర్చొని కొన్ని రికమెండేషన్స్ చేశారు. కొన్ని కాదు, చాలా రికమెండేషన్స్ చేశారు. దాన్నే కొతారి కమిషన్ అంటారు. అందులో ప్రాముఖ్యమైనది చిన్న పిల్లల చదువు గురించి, స్త్రీ విద్య గురించి ఎక్కువగా మాట్లాడారు. అదే కాకుండా డిస్టెన్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్, దూర విద్య, మీకు దూర విద్య కూడా తెలుసుంటుంది. దూర విద్య అనేది కూడా ఆ సంవత్సరంలోనే ఎస్టాబ్లిష్ అయ్యింది. అది 1964లో. బాలిక విద్యా విషయంలో చాలా ఎక్కువగా సెకండరీ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ సిస్టమ్ లో చాలా ఎక్కువ రికమెండేషన్స్ అప్పుడు చెప్పబడ్డాయమ్మా. దట్ ఈస్ 1964లో. 1978, అది 1978 అమ్మా, 79 అని మీ టెక్స్ట్ బుక్ లో ఉంది, అది రాసుకోండి. ఎస్యూపీడబ్ల్యూ అంటే మీకు తెలుసు, సోషలీ లైక్ యూస్ఫుల్ ప్రోడక్ట్స్ ని చేయడం. మనం స్కూల్లో ఉన్నప్పుడు ఎస్యూపీడబ్ల్యూ చదువుకున్నాం. ఆ ఎస్యూపీడబ్ల్యూ అనేది కూడా ఎందుకు ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేశారంటే, గాంధీ గారు వాల్యూలో ఒకటి ఉంది ఏంటంటే చదువుకుంటూ ఉద్యోగం చేయడం, లేదా ఉద్యోగం చేస్తూ చదువుకోవడం. సో ఈ స్కూల్లోనే ఆ ఉద్యోగం చేయగలిగిన సపోర్ట్ మనం ఇస్తే, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఎస్యూపీడబ్ల్యూలో కుట్లు, అల్లికలు, వంటలు, తర్వాత మగపిల్ల వాళ్ళకైతే ఈ ఎలక్ట్రిక్ కి సంబంధించిన అవన్నీ నేర్పించడం ద్వారా 10th క్లాస్ వాళ్ళు చదువుకున్న తర్వాత వాళ్ళు వొకేషనల్ ట్రైనింగ్ కి వెళ్ళిపోవచ్చు. వొకేషనల్ ట్రైనింగ్ అంటే ఐటీఐ కానీ, నర్సింగ్ కానీ, అగ్రికల్చర్ లో కానీ, లేదా షెఫ్ గా కానీ, లేదా ఒక టైలర్ గా, ఒక ఫ్యాషన్ డిజైనర్ గా కానీ అవ్వడానికి వాళ్ళకి తోడ్పడడానికి ఎస్యూపీడబ్ల్యూ అనేది 1978లో దాన్ని ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ చేశారమ్మా. ఇవంతా కూడా మనం సెకండరీ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ లో జరిగిన పాలసీస్, ప్రోగ్రామ్స్, కమిషన్స్ గురించి మనం మాట్లాడుతున్నాం. అతి ప్రాముఖ్యమైనది ఈ 1978లో జరిగిన తర్వాత 1986లో అతి ముఖ్యమైన మాధ్యమిక విద్య విప్లవాత్మక మార్పులు దోహదం చేసింది. అదే విప్లవాత్మక మార్పుల్లోనే 1986 దాన్నే నేషనల్ పాలసీ ఆన్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ అంటారమ్మ. దాని పేరు నేషనల్ పాలసీ ఆన్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్. అదేంటంటే 1986లో. అది చాలా ముఖ్యమైన పాలసీ, గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి, అది చాలా ముఖ్యమైన పాలసీ. మనం ముందు చదువుకుంది మొదలియార్ కమిషన్ అవన్నీ, కొతారి కమిషన్ అనండి, అవి కమిషన్స్, కానీ ఇవి పాలసీలు. 1986లో ఈ పాలసీ వచ్చిందమ్మా. ఈ పాలసీ చాలా, ఒకటి కాదు, రెండు కాదు, చాలా మార్పులను తీసుకొచ్చింది. అందుకే దీన్ని విప్లవాత్మక మార్పులకు దోహదం చేసింది అని తెలుగు టెక్స్ట్ బుక్ లో ఇచ్చారు. విప్లవాత్మక, అందుకే రాడికల్ రికన్స్ట్రక్షన్, రాడికల్ రీస్ట్రక్చరింగ్ ఆఫ్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ అనేది జరపబడిందమ్మా. సో ఈ 1986 అనేది చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఈ 1986లోనే జవహర్ నవోదయ విద్యాలయ సంఘటన్ అనేది ఏర్పాటు చేశారు. 1986లో ఏంటమ్మా, 1986లోనే ఎన్విఎఫ్ అంటే జవహర్ నవోదయ విద్యా సంఘటన స్కూల్స్ అనేవి ఏర్పడ్డాయి. ఎందుకు ఏర్పడ్డాయి ఈ స్కూల్స్? పిల్లలకు సరైన విద్య అందించడమే కాకుండా వాళ్ళకి హెల్ప్ చేయడం అన్నమాట. ఈఎన్సి 1986లో దీన్ని ఎస్టాబ్లిష్ చేశారు. ఈ నవోదయ స్కూల్స్ లో ఎలాంటి పిల్లలు ఉంటారు అనేది మనం నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్ లో చదువుకుందాం. ఈ 1986లో విద్యకు చాలా ప్రాముఖ్యత ఇవ్వబడింది. ఆ విద్యకు ఎలాంటి ప్రాముఖ్యత ఇవ్వబడింది అంటే, ఓన్లీ పిల్లలు క్లాస్ రూమ్ లో చదువుకోవడమే కాదు, వాళ్ళకి విద్య కాకుండా వేరే రంగాల్లో కూడా, అందుకే వొకేషనల్ ట్రైనింగ్ అనేది కూడా ఎక్కువగా ఈ టైంలో ఇవ్వబడింది. 10th క్లాస్ వరకు చదువుకున్న తర్వాత పిల్లలు వేరే వేరే రంగాలు ఎన్నుకొని వేరే వేరే రంగాల్లో కూడా ప్రావీణ్యులు అవ్వచ్చని వాళ్ళు ఆలోచించి 1986 దాన్ని నేషనల్ పాలసీ ఆన్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ అనేది ఏర్పాటు చేయబడింది. అమ్మా, ఇప్పటి వరకు మనం 2 కమిషన్లు, ఒక పాలసీలు, 2 ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ గురించి మనం మాట్లాడుకున్నాం. వచ్చే క్లాస్ లో మనం రాష్ట్రీయ మాధ్యమిక శిక్ష అభియాన్ RMSA గురించి, తర్వాత నేషనల్ ఓపెన్ స్కూల్ సిస్టమ్ గురించి మనము వచ్చే క్లాస్ లో మనం మాట్లాడుకుందాము. ఇప్పటి వరకు ఏమైనా అర్థం కాకపోతే యూ కెన్ ఆస్క్ మీ. ఇఫ్ ఎనీవన్ ఆఫ్ యూ డు నాట్ అండర్స్టాండ్, ప్లీజ్ లెట్ మీ నో.
Ma'am,
yes, Ramani.
Ma'am, you said that like SUPW, na ma'am, it is yes. Like the government has
Ramani, your voice
commission is both are same.
Ramani, I could not hear you properly. Ramani, can you please repeat that?
Ma'am, like you said, na ma'am, SUPW was given importance in the year 1978.
No, it was established in 1978.
So same with Ishwari Bai Commission also, ma'am. Like
yes,
yesterday I was writing.
Yeah, Ishwari Bai. Yeah. See, we cannot say that both are same. The thing is, During the same year, such programs and policies was implemented.
Okay.
So this is not on the whole we are speaking. We are only specifying about secondary education. You have commissions also. During that time, I'll connect this again. So you'll get confused. The only main reasons is whatever is there in your textbook, I'm parallelly giving some information.
Okay. But in the previous lesson, ma'am, in the second lesson, same SOM, we have Ishwari by commission.
Ishwari
so
by
in
commission.
That also, so in that also it was been given that SUPW was given importance. So
yes.
Can we write the same?
Yeah, you can write the same.
Okay, ma'am.
You can write the same. But the only thing is, when they ask you question, Ramni, you have to see n number of times. It is only speaking about secondary education.
Yes.
So much importance was given on this.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Even that comes.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
No doubts, ma'am.
అమ్మ తెలుగు వాళ్ళకి ఎవరికైనా అర్థం కాకపోతే చెప్పండి అమ్మా.
అర్థమైంది మ్యామ్.
అర్థమైంది. ఒకసారి కమిషన్స్ అవి చూసుకోండి అమ్మా, ఎందుకంటే అవి చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఈ కమిషన్స్ కానీ, ఈ పాలసీస్ కానీ, ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ కానీ ఎన్నిసార్లు చెప్పినా మేమే కొన్నిసార్లు మర్చిపోతాం. ఆ ఇయర్స్ అవి కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అవుతారు. కనుక మీరు కూర్చొని చక్కగా ఏ ఇయర్ లో ఏ కమిషన్ వచ్చింది, ఆ కమిషన్ ఏమంటారో అని కూడా మీరు సెపరేట్ గా రాసుకోండి. సెకండరీ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ కమిషన్ ని ఎక్కువగా దేనికి దోహదపడింది, ఏ కమిషన్ ఎక్కువగా దోహదపడింది, ఎక్కువగా ఏ కమిషన్స్ నుంచి సెకండరీ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ కమిషన్ మీద ఏం మాట్లాడారు, మీరు ఓన్ గా అప్పుడు ఆన్సర్ రాసుకోవచ్చు, మీరు ఒకసారి రాసుకున్నట్టయితే.
Okay, ma'am.
Is it clear, ma'am? So tomorrow in the class again we are going to continue with the same program. We are going to see about Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan and also National Open Schools, which has been introduced recently. So on those we are going to speak, and also the usage of ICT into the schools in secondary education. So with these three topics tomorrow we will end up the unit that is 4.1 we are going to complete tomorrow. Is it clear, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am. Meet you tomorrow.
Thank you, ma'am.
Meet you tomorrow. Thank you, ma'am.